And once again, Janice has left me in charge of Kids Church. So, normally when that happens, water may or may not be involved. And so, this time Gary gets off easy, because I'm going to get the kids to help me this week. But not right away. In a minute. So, you know that we've been looking at how the Israelites had been getting their promised land. And we saw last time, how there's a big city of Jericho. And what they had to do, they had to go and fight. No, they just did what God told them, marched round every day, and then the last day they marched down 7 times, big shout, the walls came down, and they were able to go in and possess the land. And the land that God had promised them, that was good land, and lots of good land for their animals, and for their crops, and for all their food, and everything was theirs. However, this week, we talk about the fact things started to go wrong. And there was the Midianites. They were another country, they were another nation. These people hated them, and they came against them. They destroyed their crops, and they killed their animals, and they left them with no food. So God had brought them to this land, amazing land, and yet with no food. So why do you think that was? You see, they turned away from God. They'd grown up, and then those people had died, and the children came up, and the new people that were in the land, the new children of Israel, they didn't want to serve God, and so they started making idols, and they worshipped a god called Baal. And so because of that, God let the Midianites come in and attack them for 7 whole years. Can you imagine that? No food. Can you imagine? We're having a terrible summer. Could you imagine? Another terrible summer, another terrible summer, and another terrible summer, and another terrible summer, and so on. And it was like that. And then eventually, they realised, and they cried out to God and said, God, help us. So today we're going to learn about a man called Gideon. And next week we'll also be looking at Gideon as well. So, the people have been crying out to God. And an angel appeared to this man called Gideon and said, the Lord is with you. You're a mighty man, strong and courageous and brave. And he felt nothing like that at all. Could you imagine if God came to you and said, Denzel, you're a mighty man, full of courage and brave, and oh, not me. And I think I would be the same too. No, you've got the wrong person. And that's kind of what Gideon thought. But Gideon said, well, if God is with us, why has he allowed the Midianites to come against us? And where are all the miracles our fathers and the grandfathers told us about? But God said, go in the strength you have, and you will save the Israelites. See, when I read that, I'm just forgetting Kids Church for a second, talking about big church, everybody, I thought that was an amazing word. Go in the strength that you have. Don't wait until you suddenly become this superhero, because it's never going to happen. Trust God and go in the strength you have. But anyway, back to Kids Church. Because you're going to save the Israelites, and it's me that's sending you. But Gideon said, oh, I'm not strong. In fact, my tribe is the weakest. My family is the weakest. And of them all, I'm the least of anybody that's there. Why on earth would you pick me? But God said, I am with you. So the first thing Gideon did, he went and he tore down the idols on the altar where the people had built for this false god called Baal. So he made a good start, but I guess he was still a little nervous and maybe not quite so brave. Because it's one thing maybe going, because he crept in at night and did it, and he tore down the old altar. But that's different from going into war against this mighty army that had been wrecking your land for 7 years. So, just to be sure, he says to God, look, if you're really with me and you really want me to go and save my people, the Israelites, give me a sign. And Gideon said, I'm going to leave. Now, I'm hoping everybody here has a great imagination, because this is a fleece. You know the coat of a sheep? This is like a big sheepskin rug. And Gideon said, I'm going to take this, and I'm going to leave this out. And every night the dew comes down. Now, does everybody know what dew is? Sometimes, even if it's not raining, and you get up in the morning, and the grass is all wet. In fact, it's soaking. And it's just dew comes down at night. And it was just the same there as well. And Gideon said, God, if I'm going to pick this fleece out, and he was very full. Oh. Because he thought there might be a lot of dew. And he says, I'm going to put this fleece out, and in the morning, because the dew covers everything, he says, in the morning, if the fleece is wet, but the ground is dry, I know, God, that you're with me. So, what I want to do, this is where I want Denzel to come and be the dew, and I want Keena to come and check. So Denzel, you're going to be the dew, and this is the ground, and this is the fleece. So I want you just to spray it. Just spray it. Spray is better than that. But spraying is so much better than that. Okay. Here, I'll let you spray. Right. So spray. Spray, 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 spray. Right, I think that fleece is getting pretty wet. Okay, but have you managed to spray and get the fleece wet and keep the ground dry? Keena, will you come up and see if this is wet? You come and check. Is this wet? You touch it. Is that wet? Yeah? Okay, I'm going to wipe the ground. Here, what's it? What's it like? Is it, try it. Is it wet? Put your hand in. Yeah? Is that wet too? Yeah. So you say, so what do you think happened whenever God did it? So Gideon came down, and I'll get you to help me in a minute as well. So, Gideon went to sleep at night, and he got up the next day, and he said, I'm going to check this. And the ground was bone dry. And he lifted up the fleece, and it was soaking. Absolutely soaking. He was able to wring it out. Now, you sort of think, wow, God really spoke to me. So what do you think he did? Did he go and get a big army and go and march against the Midianites? No. He says, well, God, maybe that was just a fluke. Maybe that was a fluke. We'll do it again. And this time, I'm going to put out another fleece. And this time, Lord, if the ground's all wet, but the fleece is dry, I'll definitely know that you're with me. So, can I have my dew again? And this spray is used to spray my parrot at home. And it worked perfectly. It has never not worked until this morning. So, right, nice and high up now, nice and high up. The dew comes from. Right. Okay, so what do I think now? I think the ground's pretty dry, or pretty wet now this time. Keena, will you come and check this? See how dry this fleece is. What do you think? Is that dry? Is it dry? It's sort of wet, isn't it though? Yeah, it's sort of wet. Yeah. So what do you think happened whenever Gideon got up the next morning? The ground was soaking, absolutely soaking. But when he lifted up his fleece, here it was. Bone dry. So he had really ran out of excuses. He had to trust God. So he gathered all the tribes together because now he knew, even though he thought that he couldn't do it, and why on earth would God pick him? He said, really, God has just shown me over and over again that he's going to be with me. So he called everybody together and said, we're going to fight against the Midianites and we're going to drive them out. And next week we'll find out what happened after that. So maybe Gideon should have trusted God for the first time that God spoke to him, and we should trust God. But maybe God had never actually spoken to Gideon before. And sometimes it takes a while to know what the voice of God looks like or sounds like when he's talking to us. So, if we're not sure, there's nothing wrong with us asking God again, just God, understand, let me really know that it's you speaking to us. And because if God wants to say something to us, you'd sort of think it would make sense for him to know what it was he was saying to us, and to be sure it was him. Because sometimes you can just get an idea, and it might sound like the right thing, but you want to be sure that it's really God. So there's nothing wrong with asking God, but God, is that really you? Is that really what you want me to do? And then he will speak to us, and he will answer us. So next week, Janice will be here, and she will tell us the next part of the story of Gideon. So, I'm going to sing a song. Now, unfortunately, I can't do the actions, so I hope that you remember the actions for this one. And it's what God said. It's what God said to Gideon. He said because Gideon felt really weak, and he felt really powerless, and he thought he was the last person God would pick. But God said, you're strong. So we're going to sing, be bold, be strong, for the Lord your God is with you. Right, okay? And if you remember the actions, do them. And if you don't, it doesn't matter. And if you get them wrong, it doesn't matter. Have fun. Be bold. Be strong.